Ladies and gentlemen of YouTube, welcome to this very special presentation of Season 5, Episodes 1 through 5, or 1 through 3, I should say, not 1 through 5. Season 5, Episodes 1 through 3. I'm going to speak slowly and clearly so that the audience will know what the hell is coming out of my mouth. Of course, I'm joined with Big Money Nik and I, the last Dan and Samoan from the World Class Bullshitters. What's going on?
Oh, yeah, I gotta show you what I did with my phone the other day. I got a new phone case. Let's see if it'll show up on camera.
That's fucking dope. Did you made that, right? You made that?
Yeah, I got a little space little fucking thing here too. No, there's a website I think called Zazzle or whatever. I have the information for it,
Yeah.
and and I wanted to make my own case. I saw some other ones, and they were okay, but I wanted one that had like the MCR to the side of it because of the way the cameras are set up. Yeah, because like the way the cameras are set up on this phone is like you need stuff over here. So I was like, I want the MCR like stripes and things like that on there. So that's what I got. I was like, this works out perfectly because it gives me enough room for that little the little handle thing for my hands. So I can
Amazon has a cool one that's on my wish list. It's the Belter one.
So nice.
You know what? I'm gonna show it. I'm an Amazon affiliate. I can get away with this shit, right?
Yeah, you can.
So, I'm gonna pull right off of my wish list. Let's see, where the hell is this? Trust me, we'll get into the review in a second here, but we're too busy showing off our gear because we just like to geek out and show off in front of each other. And where's the harm in that, really? You know what I mean?
I am going to send you the link to get some of the bulbs of coffee because apparently somebody has gotten quite bold on a certain website. I'm not going to name it because Amazon might figure it out or whatever.
Yeah.
But I'll send you the link for the cups of coffee, the red ones from the first season. Somebody is making them and selling them. They're expensive. But, they're kind of worth it.
It's Rosinati coffee, man. Yeah,
it's true. It's true.
Okay, here it is. I found it. All right, so I'm going to share this because anybody wanting to get me some Christmas gifts this year, I'm going to show you this right now. So, here we go. Yep, Galaxy S10 Plus. Part of it is, my phone's obsolete 6 months after I get one, but...
Oh!
Isn't that dope? Look at that!
I love it. That's awesome.
Oi! Beltalota! Yeah, I love it. I love it, dude. I freaking love it. So...
Oh, my God.
So we got to watch seasons one. This is going to be a nice breezy podcast for a change because we don't have to do an entire fucking season. We can just do 3 episodes, which is pretty easy to get through, because like I said, this show has really found its stride, as far as pacing goes. They don't throw too much information at you, but you're not bored either. So
yeah, and that's a good thing is everybody's excited for season 5, and we got 3, and I know why they put up 3 episodes now after watching this. If they put up 1, we would have been entirely lost, and I think
we would have been bored. Yeah, we'd been more. Yeah. So,
well, I mean, not just that. I mean, as we've gone through the seasons before, there's a lot of stuff going on, and even though we know these people, this is the 5th season. There's still so much going on now because they're so. They've done so much and they're so ingrained in what they're doing and stuff. So we have to figure out where they've gone and what's going on in this new chapter. And,
so here's the official fandom season 5 wiki. So these episodes are called Exodus, Churn, and Mother. And as we start doing the try saying those words too fast together, it just sounds like something crazy. But as we do this show, we'll just be doing one episode at a time. So they'll be shorter reviews, But
that's very true. It's very, very true.
But we're not going to mention these episodes by name because they're kind of all 3 the setup for the rest of the season is what I'm getting out of this. So.
Yeah. So as we open up the first show of the new season, we see everybody's kind of gone their own way.
The band split up.
Yeah, the Rosies at the Tachi station with Fred Johnson, and everybody's kind of doing their own thing. Amos is heading to Baltimore, and Cass is heading to Mars, and what is it? Naomi and Holden are on the Rosie. Avasarala's on the moon now because she got she
got
lost
demoted and she got sent to the moon basically so that the person that won the election can just kind of spite her. It's
very much so.
It's completely out of spite, and she's just doing it because she's a trooper. She doesn't really want to be there, but she is. She just feels like it's her duty.
Yeah, and she's still pulling strings and trying to get shit done and stuff, but she can't because she's at a very limited power structure right now.
I think what's interesting about this season so far is that these people have literally saved the universe multiple times now. Okay, like saved the galaxy multiple times, but they still come home and they still have their shitty life waiting for them. Like all the stuff that they left behind, nothing has changed. Like almost no respect at all, especially Cass, you know what I mean? Like he gets back, and I kind of get it because he's not really a good dad, you know what I mean? Like he's a.
But even the whole planet is against him because he's trying to land, and he's like, "Oh, if you'd come in the Tachi, we wouldn't have let you land." I'm like, really?
Well, you got to remember he's been flying around for 4 seasons now, 4 seasons in a stolen MCRN ship, So some people still haven't gotten over that shit, even though it's been cleared up and made official by chrisjen. Okay, even though chrisjen has made it official. Some people still say, "Well, you stole the ship." They can't get over their hang-ups. You know what I mean? So,
and that seems to be a very Martian thing is to never forget.
Yeah. They hold grudges forever. Yeah.
Yeah. Apparently till they die. But it's just a weird thing, man. Because like he's in the goddamn Razorback, which I fucking love that ship so much. It looks so cool.
Yeah, he likes flying that thing around. You can tell.
Yeah, he does.
Also, the Razanati is docked back at Tycho Station, and fucking Fred Johnson is still in charge of Tycho Station somehow. I don't know how he hasn't been demoted or incarcerated, or at least for the shit that he put over on the Mormons. I guess. I'm sure that'll come back at some point, but I'm like, really? You still have the job, So.
Yeah, because the Mormon ship, formerly the Nauvoo, now the Behemoth, is in the ring gate.
And the Razanati's getting repairs, and Drummer quit after the end of season. About a season 4 ago. Yeah, season 4, and she quit. So her replacement is this real crotchety old dick, and he does not like the Razanati crew, and he's mad because they're like giving him discounts and stuff like that, and the lady literally says these are good guy discounts,
Yeah, and it's one of those things where it's like, the crew of the Rosie have done so much, like what you said, they've saved the system like 3 or 4 times now.
Right, they've saved the galaxy, and you can't give them a fucking discount. Get over yourself, dude. Absolutely no respect, but yeah.
No, 100%. Like, even for them fucking saving the entire system like 3 or 4 times, it's nothing, man. They got to pay full price. Like, really, dude?
So what I like about these episodes so far is, Star Trek has done this too. Like a lot of the Star Trek, series, which I'm going through each one of them piece by piece now, and I'm up to Voyager. Every Star Trek series has an episode where people go on shore leave. And that's kind of what this is. It's like you're off the ship, going home, going back to your old life, dealing with some things. You got some separate stories going around, and there's set up for each one of them. And it's a lot more toned down than some of the universe-ending shit that we've had from the first few seasons.
Yeah, this is, from what we know from the last season is that we have, oh God, what's his name? I forget his criminal name. What is it? It's the new bad guy who's actually a real bad guy. He's OPA, and he hates everybody. I forget. Marco in our whatever Marco. He's launching fucking meteors at Earth, like stealth meteors at Earth. Like
he's shooting them like missiles. Yeah, he's got stealth tech actually on these rocks. Like you open up on the rock, it's splitting up, and I'm like, oh, this is interesting. And you know how they always have like the little establishing text that comes out? It just says a rock. It just says a rock. I'm like, I don't know. That just struck me as kind of funny. It's like all these crazy universes and gates that we've gone to, and it's like, meanwhile, at this rock that's breaking up in the atmosphere, and of course it's heading towards. This is all by design. He wants it to head toward. It's speeding towards Earth. Is what's going on. So.
Yeah, he's put them on like on a collision course or something, and it's like once again, this is like big brain, evil scientist, like James Bond shit is what he's doing.
World-ending shit, yeah.
Yeah, we're like world-ending shit, but he's like fuck the inners, I'm out.
So one of the first things that we find out is Fred Johnson has found Naomi's son. Okay, which we saw at the tail end of season 4. Okay.
Yeah.
Naomi's son is working with her former husband, so he's with his dad. Okay. Fred Johnson shows her a photograph, and of course she gets really emotional and immediately charters a ship and leaves Holden. Doesn't want Holden to go with because she says this is something that I have to fix. And what she wants to do basically is stop her son from getting killed because Marcos, as we've mentioned before, is a dangerous fellow. Like everybody wants him dead at this point. So
yeah,
that's the thing. Everybody is chasing after an actual bad guy in this show. You know what I mean? It's like fuck his motivations. This guy is mean. Okay, so and he's making his son mean in the process too. We don't know if there's any heart left in this guy at all. I mean, they show him going onto a ship at one point, and they're investigating the rock that's going on, and they board the ship, and then they're tracking the rock, and then they're like, "What did you see? What did you see?" Well, we just got here. Does anybody else know about this? And they're like, "No," and they kill all of them. They like shoot them right in the head.
Yeah, because they don't want any of that information to be leaked out or given to anybody because
they steal all of their flight recorders and then they put a bomb on the ship, and you don't actually see her son pulling the trigger, but he says go ahead, like he gives the firing order. You know what I mean? So he actually leaves one of his own behind. I thought Belders never left each other behind, but apparently they do.
Dude, well, I mean, like, Belters, like, don't give a shit about life in reality. Like, because I think it's because they've been abused themselves throughout like so many hundreds of years,
right?
That they've come to the point now. It's just kind of like, yeah, if one of ours dies, we die, man. That's it.
So we got that path going on, and then we've got Amos is actually, we found out in a previous season, we didn't mention it because there's just so much to cover. We didn't find it was that important to get that out there, that Amos isn't really Amos. Okay, Amos is somebody else, and we eventually find out that Amos is actually a Timothy. Once he goes back to Earth, he goes back to Earth because there's a lady that raised him. It doesn't say it's his mother or stepmother. I think it says she looked after me. She died. I'm going back to take care of her affairs. And of course, Amos, in true Amos fashion, we already see him like immediately beat up two guys that try to shake him down on one of the charter ships heading to Luna on the way to Earth.
Yeah, and the bathroom scene of that ship, and I love how, like, in that scene he was about to sleep and get everything done, and then one of these guys comes in and wants to sell insurance.
Yeah, insurance.
And, and like he
all kinds of insurance, Beltalona.
exactly, and he knows the scam, and he's like, yeah, fuck you. And then he immediately goes to the bathroom, and the other people that are there is like, why are you in the bathroom? They're gonna get you. He's like, I don't like waiting. So, like, once again, in true Amos fashion, he's like, I'm just gonna do this head on.
I don't like to wait. Yeah.
And I'm gonna beat the shit out of them, and fucking he does, man, because that's just how he rolls.
That's one thing that's cool about Amos is he always wants to get right into the shit right away. He doesn't want to put it off or wait it out or anything like that. Oh, we got something more to talk about, It's like, or are we done? We got something we need to sort out, So that's cool. But he's on his way back to Baltimore, all right, and he actually runs chrisjen. While he's on the moon, wants to see him. He doesn't know why. She brings him in. They have a shot. It's not really a super important scene. She just wants to know what he's up to. Like if probably trying to sniff around to see if he's after some protomolecule or if he's on a mission from Holden. No, this one's on. He's just going by himself. Like he's going to sort of. So she's. And what's funny is he's got this crush on chrisjen. You know, he's always asking, "What's she wearing?" Because she's like, "You look like shit." You know, because she's got that gravelly voice, and he's like, "You look amazing." You know. And at one point, chrisjen she says, "I'm not one of your strippers." He's like, "You can be if you want to." Or no, she says, "I'm not one of your strippers. I'm a diplomat." He's like, "You can be both if you want." Amos, you're great, dude. You're great.
Because the man has no fear. He has no
Nothing.
fear.
He's just completely disconnected. Yeah.
She's like, if he's like, I get arrested, she puts me in the fucking thing, then that's it. It happened. My bad.
And she's so she tells him, she's like, if you're gonna kill somebody, I won't pay any attention. Just make sure it's nobody I know. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So he's just like, whatever. Am I done here? Can I go? You know. So he heads back to Baltimore, and then we've got Holden all by himself on the ship. Like the family's gone. You know, like to show you how quiet the ship is with nobody in it. When they're not working on it. When they're working on it, it's absolutely fucking noise central, you know. But then we got the old journalist from previous season calls him back.
Monica Stewart, I think is her name. Let me see. Yeah, Monica Stewart from the previous the third season. The third season, yeah.
She was in the third season. We just never mentioned her because we didn't think it was like super.
Yeah, it was like a sea level story. It didn't really mean anything.
They stuck her and this other guy on the ship, this blind guy that operates cameras on the ship, to do like a documentary, and it just didn't work out well. They all like the cameraman had his own agenda going on, and they basically got thrown out of the airlock, you know, with their spacesuits on, because Amos is like, they'll be fine, you know, they're journalists, they know people, they'll be fine. Like later on in a couple episodes down, he's like, "See, told you they'd be fine." You know, it's like I told you they'd make it. You know, so turns out she has a camera in her eye. She has like an implant. I did not know that.
Yeah, and you know that, and we've seen that implant before. We saw it in the first season with the spy guy. Yeah, yeah, and so I mean that's not new to us, but it's good to see that coming back. And I mean it was fun to see that be a thing. I always like weird shit like that's fun. But you know, she I love how she, like, during that scene, you're like, she's like off the record, and then it flips to her view of like through her eye, and it's like clearly a camera. I'm just like,
it's clearly recording everything, and he knows it too. And she's got a lead on some proto molecule bullshit, and Holden's just like, fuck, you know what I mean? It's just he can't get a break, you know, so. He goes off on that quest, on this proto-molecule quest. And, of course, she gets abducted eventually. And her and Fred Johnson have to figure out where the hell she is. She gets thrown into a...
just literally a container.
A shipping container.
A shipping container. And I love how, like, it's one of those things where it's like... It's fucking Tycho Station, and like one shipping container in Tycho Station doesn't mean anything. And they show you the vastness of, like, you're never going to find her. It's literally finding a needle in a haystack that's in space.
Well, you know what's amazing is the fact that the shipping containers look exactly like the shipping containers we have now. Like they didn't futurize them or anything. They're just the same old bullshit shipping containers we've always been using, except they're in space and they're stacked up a lot higher because space. You know what I mean? So
because there's space in space.
It's a really neat effect, though. They like pull back and there's just millions of these fucking containers, and she's in there. Help! Somebody get me out! And you realize, like, ain't nobody gonna find you, honey. You're dead. You're so fucking dead.
Sweetie,
you know,
you're dead.
you're dead.
Yeah, and it's one of those things where it's just like you're also in space, which means if you hit the door too hard, like you be fucked. Like it's gonna happen. Which she does. I mean, you know, she wants to get out and things like that. You know, I understand.
I don't even think she knows she's in space, because I think they got her unconscious, and she tried to escape out of the trailer. Because I watched these twice. I watched all three of them twice to make sure I didn't miss anything. Even though somehow, audience, I will probably still butcher these fuckers up. But, you know, at least it's only 3 episodes this time. But, she tries to like, claw her way out of the ship, or out of the container, like, breaks a seal with her fingernail or something like that, and all of a sudden the air starts fucking escaping. It's just like, oh shit, I'm in space, So that's happening. All right, and oh god, what else is going on? So Chrisjen eventually finds out that there is actually something speeding towards. Oh, we forgot to mention Drummer. Okay, Drummer's a pirate now. Go
Drummer's a pirate on Mars. I fucking love it.
She's a pirate. Yeah, she's got with other belters, and then they're basically shaking down other pirates and taking their bounty.
Yeah, and one thing I love is that you don't know that until almost all the way through the episode, or you know what you suspect certain things because at the end of it she made the call to Avasarala and you don't know what happened with that because the first time you see her is that she's making this deal on the surface of Mars in a vac suit with the dude in with like a goddamn RV or like a golf cart or whatever, and it's like, what the fuck is she doing? Did she just have to start selling shit because did she get into the black market game because things were that bad on Mars? And then she comes back to her little place where she has all her stuff, and you immediately realize that that's not what she's doing. She is using Avasarala's money or funds or whatever to find out who's doing what with what. Because Marcos Inos might be getting advanced weapons from Mars to use against Earth, and she wants to know what the hell's going on. So that she's now a fucking spy all of a sudden.
Well, she's also found she has a bounty on the guy whose name I can never remember. His ship, the old guy, the OPA guy whose name I can never remember.
Oh, Dawes?
No, not Dawes. The guy that's always singing the sea shanties out in space.
Oh, shit, man. Yeah,
you can't remember his name either. He's got a very simple name. Ashford. Okay, you can tell me that 100 times, I'm still gonna fucking forget it. All right, so. Yeah, she eventually finds Ashford's ship, okay, and they go on a quest to find that ship. They find it in the middle of the night. Heartbreak, she doesn't like guys. I kind of suspected it all along, but I can still dream, Well, there is. I like to think I got just a little bit of a chance.
Well, here's the thing. This is going to sound really weird, but Drummer gets kind of naked in the episode.
Yes,
I got real happy for you.
She's completely naked. Yeah,
I got real happy for you because I was like, Adam's gonna fucking love this part.
Oh, I stood up, dude. I stood up and saluted, man. I'm like, yes, God bless it, But doesn't matter. I still like the character a lot. But they find the ship in the middle of the night, and then as they're looking around the ship, they kind of turn all the stuff back on. She eventually finds that recording that they made at the end of season 4. Okay.
Because she knows Ashford really well, and then Ashford doesn't, will never leave anything to chance.
Ashford is such a badass that he recorded his own execution. I would fucking love a prequel that was just about Ashford. I would love to know that guy's backstory. He was an interesting character, even though I can never remember his fucking name. I get excited when he was. It's a shame that he's gone, but hey, maybe they'll bring him back in a flashback. Who knows,
I think there might be a novella about that or about him or something. I know there's definitely one about Amos, and it's literally called The Churn.
He's a super interesting character, but she finds that message, and he is so cool. He had the fucking recorder box hidden in a fire extinguisher. Like a faux fire extinguisher. They open it up. She finds some fucking MRE K-ration food shit in there, and then a handgun, obviously, and then this little recorder. And she downloads it and she plays the message. Of course, she's heartbroken because she was supposed to go out there with him to track down Marcos and kill him, or catch him or whatever the fuck they were going to do. So she sent that message, and then, as you said before, she eventually sends that to Chrisjen. Hoping you'll, or did she sent it to
sent it to Fred Johnson,
Fred Johnson sent it to Chrisjen. That's right. Okay, I wanted to make sure.
They have their own little private back channel in case shit goes to shit.
So people are working together. Chrisjen's definitely on another mission. So now everybody's trying to find Marcos at this point.
I know Drummer makes the even though she's heartbroken about Ashford, she still makes the thing. It's like. Well, she was until she, had her whiskey and, love making night. And then she's like, I'm out. And
it seems like everybody on that ship kind of does that, right? That's just kind of a thing. I'm like, oh, so
man, it's, you know what?
You got like 9 people on a ship and 3 bunks. I guess that's just how you roll. Everybody sleeps in the noon.
Listen, it's the future. There's a goddamn ring gate that opens up to 1,300 worlds.
Amazon knows that people like Game of Thrones, so
shit's weird now. Okay, listen, you're in a damn metal oxygen bubble. You don't know when you're gonna go.
They're belters, Nick. They do whatever the fuck they want.
Right? That's 100% true. That's it. They will fuck anything and everybody and just do their job. So
you also get a nice little side story with Amos. All right, and you find out that Amos is actually a Timothy. Okay, he does eventually go back to Baltimore, and he goes to this lady's house. She's gone. Basically, her husband opens the door. He's never met him before, he's never met him before, and has a cup of tea with him. The guy says, "Well, it's her house. You told me some stories about him. Blah blah blah." They get a little bit of insight to his backstory. Come to find out, he's been abused his entire life.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
it's I like kind of how they say it, but they don't want to give you too many details because you can't really. First of all, you don't want to show that on.
Hell no! No.
And plus, it's already really rough. I mean, you could kind of attest to if you've watched the show this long, Amos is and his actions. You can already see that it really fucked up childhood. You can just kind of tell that from his actions.
Eventually he finds out the guy that owns the apartment that guy's in. He's on his way of moving out. He's like, well, don't stop packing. I'm gonna take care of this. And he goes up to some drug dealer out in the street. Walks up to him. He's like, I need to talk to so and so. I don't remember his name. It's not really important.
Eric.
Eric. Okay, so he's like, I need to talk to Eric. He's like, I don't know Eric, and he just beats the shit out of him. Amos never stops punching somebody until they're half dead. And then he gets him up again. He's like, you want to be my friend or not? And the guy's like, all right, fine, I'll be your friend because you're gonna beat me within an inch of my life, right? So, takes his gun. And he says, you tell him I need to talk to him. You tell him right now, and the guy's like turn around. He's like, they'll kill you. He's like, I thought you were my friend. So,
his exchange with people is always just like, what are you doing, Amos?
I mean, eventually he does find him. And he hands him a pile of ice. Says, here, put that on that shiner, and then they take him to go see Eric, and Eric turns out to be his brother.
Yeah, because I know I've read the chart, and what it is that Amos, the name he's taken is of I think it's said in season 3 because Monica Stewart says it's the only Amos we know from Baltimore died, and it's that's
and
true
he was like a criminal kingpin.
Yeah, because the criminal kingpin was going to take that name, and because it was going to be the trend, everything was changing. Cops are coming through and picking up people, and when Amos, this is before Amos got on the Canterbury. And so, from what I remember, and I'm going to butcher this as well, I know I am. Somebody was going to give his boss that ID, the Amos ID, and I think it was supposed to be his brother, but his brother fucked up, so he had to kill his boss and everybody else, and he took the ID from his brother Eric, and made it his own. And he went on a ship and fucking went to Luna, and that's that
took off and went to space. So so now his brother's a criminal kingpin, and Amos does what he does, and there's no fights or anything. And he basically says, he's like, look, I'm not going to take your shit. I'm not going to hurt you. I just want you to let that guy have the apartment. He's like, are you seriously? That's the only reason you came here? Was it just about the apartment? Like, fine, he can have it. I don't care. So he's like, all right, cool. Grabs a bottle of whiskey off of his desk, takes off. That's pretty much the end of that. I was kind of hoping that I would get a little bit of backstory. I don't really need to know every single detail. You don't want to completely demystify a character.
True.
But he's got that little devil pin that he wears on his his shirt all the time. And he has a tattoo of it on his arm, too. I really want to know what the fuck that's all about. There's a story in there somewhere, and I just want to know.
They'll probably go into that for like a minute, and it's some in one of the episodes. I'm sure they will, because
just some kind of an explanation of what the significance of that pin is. Because no matter what he's wearing, he has that pin on the outside of whatever outfit or uniform he happens to be using at the time. So even if he's in frickin' disguise, he's got that fucking pin on. So it's like his good luck charm or something like that. But we mentioned that off camera before the stream started. The CG, how good it looks. I mean, establishing shots of people entering Luna Station. I mean, we've seen old 60s stuff where people landed on the moon. It looks pretty fucking ridiculous. This is pretty good stuff. I mean, really, it's a blend of actual, real footage and then a little bit of CG splicing. Like you're mixing the two, and you get a really cool effect. Especially when they go to Baltimore. It's like they took actual Baltimore and they just made like the skyline a lot bigger, and you got the
funny thing is that whole giant, like, that shot of them, like, going over and in, and where they, you see Amos, like that whole giant shot is just Canada. It's all Canada. Canada for.
Of course it is.
I think because I was watching the after show, and they said they were shooting downtown Toronto for Baltimore, and I was just like,
shit!
Okay.
I totally forgot to watch the after show. Damn it! You told me about it, and I fucked up.
Hey man, it's all good.
I watched all 3 of these episodes twice, but I fucking forgot to watch the after show. Sorry, YouTube, I screwed up there. I'll have to catch that one later. But so that's a nice little story there with Amos. Just giving him a solo anything. He's always a background character, and especially after season 4, I wanted to see more out of him, and I think they're starting to give the audience more of that character, because people just kind of like that detached, fucked up attitude that he has towards everything. But it starts to make more sense after you see that the guy's literally been beaten down all of his life, and he even mentioned at one point like nobody really saves anybody, but she taught me how to save myself.
Yeah, and I think it's important now, because we've gone through them for 4 seasons. We need to know, even though we kind of know them, I think it's good to know a little bit more. Obviously, like you said, we need more mystery. We need to keep the mystery to the characters, because that's what keeps us hungry and wanting to watch them more. And how are they going to react to these situations is what we really want to see, because dealing with the show, nobody's black and white. It's just a giant gray area.
Mm-hmm.
So we always want to see how they interact with certain things and how they're going to respond to stuff. So it's good to see that Amos is, we're seeing about his past. Same thing with Cassian Andor. We're seeing him try to reconcile his past too.
Cassian Andor?
I think it's his name. I could entirely be wrong.
Cassian Andor is the guy from Rogue One.
Sorry.
I think you mean Alex. Yeah. I just call him Alex. I think it's Alex Jamal, I think is his name. Yeah.
Oh, no, you're right.
Alex Kamal. That's it. Yeah.
I entirely messed up.
I just, when you said Cass, I thought, is his last name Cass or his middle name Cass? I'm going to go with it. And then when you said Cassian Andor, I'm like, wait, that's Rogue One. Fuck.
No, yeah. You're entirely right. I entirely fucked up.
Sorry, dude. Such a dick
Alex Kamal. God.
Alex Kamal. Alex Kamal goes back to Mars, and they're kind of showing you the mass exodus that's going on both Earth and Mars at the same time. Everybody's heading out to the frontier. It's kind of reminiscent of Blade Runner when you're watching that, and they always say, "Go to the off-world colonies. A new life waits for you." There's a lot of that shit going on, because he goes, he sees like his old district, and it's like for sale and all this kind of shit, and he's like, damn,
Yeah, because he's looking up at everything. Everything must go out of business.
Everything's going out of business. Yeah.
Well, because the thing is that, and this was kind of discussed in the last season, is just like, with there being planets through the ring gate that already have like water and air, that's two out of 3 things that
the Mars pipe dream just becomes a lost cause.
Yeah, it goes back to being a pipe dream then. Because what they had to do, it's taken them, like, I think 200 or 300 years to get to this point.
Several generations that will never see a breathable atmosphere working on.
And they're not going to now. Yeah, they're not going to now, because they're all going to take a planet from more than 1300.
There's no reason to keep doing it. Yeah.
Also,
Alex Kamal tries to get closure with his family, and she shuts him down cold, but I can't say he didn't deserve it. You know what I mean? Like he kind of had this coming, and she basically says, "What do you want? Closure? Do you want me to say thanks for saving the world, or you want me to say you don't have a chance, or you do have a chance, so that you get to feel sad or something like that?" She's like, "Here's what you get. You get shit. You don't get any closure. All right." Slams the fucking door in his face. Of course, he still kind of talks to his son on the phone a little bit. Just a little bit. Doesn't actually get to see him. So then he wants to meet up with Bobby Draper because Bobby Draper's on planet. And Bobby Draper is still living the criminal life. She is in the gun running business and still working for chrisjen privately, like secretly working for chrisjen. She's working for chrisjen because they figure if they can track the gun sales to somebody who has some proto-molecule.
Yeah, definitely. And it's... And Bobby Draper has gotten very. This is gonna sound weird. She's gotten very hard.
Cynical, yeah.
Thank you. That's what I was looking for. I was looking for cynical.
Cynical,
that's what I was looking for.
Yeah, cynical, disenchanted. Because when we first meet Bobby Draper, she believes in that Martian dream that someday there'll be oceans and green and grass and all that kind of stuff. She's had a taste of that actual thing, and she's starting to get. She's pretty much completely given up on that. She sees people that she once respected. They're in the gun. They're selling out. They're selling arms to anybody that wants them. There's literally no fucking control at all. The police are in on it. I mean, it's bad.
Yeah,
it's really fucking bad.
It's funny, but Mars is like everybody's looting Mars right now just to get nobody to fuck off.
They may as well be looting Mars, and she's living in this shitty little apartment. And there's this really funny scene, Nick, where he says, "I'm gonna have you meet me up at this bar later. It's a great place." The most ridiculous, fucked up, honky tonk, bullshit ass bar I've ever seen in my entire life. It's like the place is like a Foot Locker. You know what I mean? It's like you couldn't fit hardly anybody. They got the most cornball ass fucking country music playing in a different language, which is hilarious. And there's like people are wearing cowboy hats with neon on them and shit. And I was laughing pretty hard at that scene. They're like, the bar stools are actual saddles. I mean, Bobby Draper just walks in and she's just looking around like, what the fuck?
See, and this is one of the things that's in one of the things you learn about in the books is that like people from Texas, I think settled Mars, and so they've always had that voice and that drawl to their speech.
That's what I was wondering what was going on with Alex. Because it's like, you don't sound like the other Martians, dude. You sound like you're from Texas.
Yeah. So regardless if you're Indian or black or whatever, or Creole or whatever, you will always have that Martian drawl in your voice, regardless of what you look like. It's hilarious because looking at Alex Kamal, it's like he's kind of Indian looking or whatever. He's Middle Eastern looking, but he's got that Texas drawl to his voice. It was awkward hearing it the first time, and that's kind of the thing. Perpetuate throughout the whole series.
And then you got Draper, who's from the same planet, and she sounds like she's from New Zealand because Frankie Adams is from New Zealand. Okay, she's Samoan, so I did a little homework on her.
Yeah, I bet you did. And like it's one of those things like with her, you can't do that with because like she's because of her accents. Like there's no way to do that. There's no way to train her.
It's a cool accent. Yeah, I have no problem with it. But it's just like when you're trying to understand the world building. At this point, you just kind of have to go with it. You know what I mean? But he finds out that she's basically hoarding all these guns. She's got another power suit now, Nick. She found one.
Yeah, because she lost hers battling the damn proto-molecule creature in the third season. So her suit was all fucked up.
I'm thinking, there was that part where I said that there was blood on. I think what that actually was hydraulic fluid.
Could have been.
Because I don't remember that actually coming out of the creature. I'm like, it looks like she's got blood on her. I don't know. I was fucking confused. But she has another power suit. She shows him this cat after she chews him out and says, you're a piece of shit, father. They're not taking you back. Give it up. Get over it. He goes back to her and is like, why are you shutting me out? And she's like, fine, I'll show you something. Shows him this big cache of fucking weapons that she's been hoarding and buying, and of course there's a power suit in there too. So I'm like, I bet you they're going to put her back in that suit again because
you know it. That's why they brought her back.
Also, better because that suit is exciting. Yeah,
yeah. I understand her. I understand her animosity towards Alex. Like, he is a shitty father. Yeah, he did. He did do what he wanted to do, and he left and everything. But also, it's like you guys have been to you guys are Martian MCRN Martian. You're in the fucking Navy. Like,
they have a lot in common. And I also found out that Alex was in long enough to become a senior chief, and that's a pretty high rank. I was in the Navy.
What does that mean?
That senior chief would be just before the highest rank you can get in the enlisted military Navy is Command Master Chief. So Senior Chief would be just before Master Chief.
Really? So he was
hardcore if he made Senior Chief. That's pretty fucking impressive. Like, he was seriously in the military, and he strikes me. He's starting to make a little bit more sense to me because, like I told you before, like, I've known veterans in my lifetime that they can't transition into civilian life. Like, they can't. And I think that explains a lot of what Alex does. What it is you get this euphoria high, and it becomes like a drug. Like when you're in the military and you're constantly go, and you're part of something exciting. He gets that from the Razanati, and in his personal life can't replace that. So it's almost like a drug addict where they let everything else fall to shit because they're in love with the drug and not their, you know what I mean? It's the best way I can describe it. And he comes off as that type of a person. Like he misses that military life.
Yeah. You saw a little bit. You saw, like, if you ever watched the movie The Hurt Locker, same thing happens to that. Like
that's exactly what I was thinking about.
And he goes home to his wife and his like newborn kid, and all of a sudden, he's like, I want to go back the fuck out. I'm just like, you're a bomb tech, buddy. And like apparently dealing with the red and blue wire is more exciting than being at home. Just like,
well, yeah, it's the first half of the movie, you're watching him deal with the red and blue wire, and then you're seeing him clean out his gutters, and he can't fucking deal with that kind of.
Yeah, well,
it's slowed down too much. It's like you live a real hyper realistic lifestyle, and then you try to slow down to civilian life, which moves at a snail's pace. I've seen that happen to people, and that's actually one of the reasons why I didn't stay in the military. I didn't want that to happen to me. I didn't want to become like the best way I can describe it is like being institutionalized. It's like you literally cannot convert to civilian life, and I think Alex hasn't come to terms with that yet. Yeah,
and I know there's a comic book about that. That's I think it's like 4 parts or whatever about these characters. One of them is about Alex, and that happens because what happens is that like apparently with the Mars culture, from what I've read in the comic book and the book and everything, I can kind of extrapolate from that is that you want to get married young and you want to have a lot of kids because the more kids, like
more workers. Yeah, everybody does their part. Yeah.
Warren sounds like Russia.
So he probably even got married out of an obligation. You know what I mean?
He did. Because that's just in the comic book is that like he was in the Martian Navy and he was doing a good job, but he was doing too good of a job and he became too good of a pilot and he kept loving that thing. And he kept talking to this girl and this, that, and the other, and they got married. They had I think they had like 1 or 2 kids, and apparently because of biology they couldn't have any more. Like they just kept trying and they didn't because the wife was very jealous about like her friends and some of her family having like 4 kids because that's the norm. The norm on Mars is I think like 4 kids.
Okay.
So she was real mad about it, and like she made him do a desk job like at the Martian Navy office or whatever. Like he did a desk job, or maybe he was working for the father-in-law or something. I forget exactly what happened. It's been a while since I read it. He was doing a desk job regardless. Didn't like it, hated it, wanted to be out there in the stars, doing the whole thing, being a pilot, doing the whole pilot thing. And at some point he just tells her, he's like, yeah, I can't do this. I'm fucking, because she even notices him coming home and doing the desk job. She's like, he's fucking miserable. He's gaining weight. He doesn't want to do anything. He just, he's unhappy, and they both have to make the decision. It's like, yeah, I'm not meant to be this person. I'm meant to be, Martian Navy, and I need to go out there and do stuff. And then it just becomes like this thing where he's on these like long haul missions for months and years sometime, and that's what he does, and that's kind of how it ends. It's just
so he joins Pure Clean. I'll go out on an ice holder and pilot those fucking things around. But yeah, he comes back and he just cannot get adjusted to, and he gets shut down by everybody. He's getting shut down by his family, shut down by Bobby. He starts hitting on this other girl because he gets a lead on somebody like Bobby shows him this entire spreadsheet of people that she thinks are connected to protomolecule and selling weapons and all this kind of shit. There's this big ring. She's losing a lot of her contacts, and Alex says, well, this guy right here is an admiral. There's no fucking way he would just sell guns out to anybody and sell out Mars. And he's like, you know what, I'll go track him down. You know, and he goes to school, and the guy's giving a big, long speech and everything, and of course, he shakes his hand, and the guy's like, I don't fucking talk to you. You stole a Martian freighter, you know? Kiss my ass, you know? And walks away. So he gets shut down, and then this lady comes over, and she's like, oh, I think anybody would want to be talking to Alex Jamal. You know, like, he's so fucking gullible, you know? It's like you can see the shit from a mile away. It's like, the show even makes it known. It's like she goes to the Admiral, he's like, find out what the fuck he wants. She's like, I'm already on it, you know?
And it's one of those things where like he's looking for some ass. He's looking for some love. He wants to
just he wants any attention at all.
He wants to fly the Rossi real fast and shoot shit, and then get a blowjob at the end of the day.
Right.
It's fine. I get it, Alex. It's okay. It's okay.
I mean, clearly he doesn't love his wife. You know, that's fine. You know, I mean, he tells himself he does, but he really doesn't. You know, I think he strikes me the type of guy that's more in love with being in love than actually loving anybody. You know what I mean? Yeah. You get that, like, especially from the bullshit music that he listens to. But so he's talking to this officer lady, you know, and they're hitting it off, and she's trying to get information out of him. He's trying to get information out of her. He follows her back to her apartment. Obviously, gets the honey dicks kiss on the cheek, good night, fuck off kind of thing. You know, he's heading back to his room, and two strange people follow him in and shove him into his fucking room, punch him out, and then they inject him full of fucking drugs. You know, and he's just like, woo, you know. They're asking him, they're like, why are you talking to Admiral so-and-so?
I do love like stoned high Alex. I do love that a lot.
He gets stoned, and he of course, I think they it's like they kind of roofied him or some shit, because he tells them everything. He's like, oh, I'm just trying to find out if the guy's selling proto-molecules, you know. Anybody else know about this? Bobby Draper, you know. So they're like, all right, they're just getting ready to shoot him, and of course Bobby Draper busts the door open, saves the fucking day, you know. And then they inject the lady full of drugs. That was kind of funny. So
that was good. That was good. But yeah, it was, dude. It was, yeah. Oh, Alex. Yeah, because I mean, I remember. I think, you know, he was looking at, because even in the book, both Alex and Amos are kind of fighting over Bobby Draper, because she's on the Rocinante and she's working out and doing her thing. And they're both fighting over, because they're both kind of like, you know, it's like, oh, well, and Amos is trying to give Alex an idea. He's like, oh man, you know, you both are Martians. You should take her, you know, because you know her stuff. And the way they describe her in the book is she's 2 meters tall and built like Gina Carano, like a brick shit house. Like, she will beat the fuck out of you. She's a Martian Marine. Which I think is kind of fitting. I mean, like, yeah, you know, I understand you can't have that. You can't have that part, because like the way they describe everybody physically, it would have been difficult to make that show.
Yeah.
You know, because Alex Kamal is supposed to be kind of the same thing, except he's supposed to be fat. Amos is supposed to look like a lineman. Holden looks like Holden. It's fine. And he's supposed to look a little bit more all American.
And Naomi's supposed to be like really tall and really slender,
really tall and really lanky. Yeah. Yeah, so I mean, they do what they can.
Naomi eventually catches up with her old crew, meet up in a bar, and then of course she wants to see her son. Like, please let me talk to him, you know. And she finally does meet up with him, and he's like, I don't fucking talk to you. Fuck you, you know. It's like you left us, you know. What, you want to have some kind of get together now, you know, after you left us and all that kind of stuff? And she's like, look, I get it. This ship that I came in on, I bought it. You can have it. You can take it. You can go anywhere. And when you get there, I'll send you all the money you want. Just please get away from this lifestyle and what you're doing. He tells her fuck off, and then not even 5 minutes later, she's back on the ship, and they bust in and they knock her out with fucking what do you call the
taser?
Taser. They taser, and then they take her. We're taking your ship. Well, that's the last that we see of Philip. Her son's name is Philip, so that's the last we see of him. And then I think the final episode, the last thing that we see is the meteorite that was coming towards Earth actually hits Earth, and I think that's where it ends.
Yeah, man.
This guy he's standing there on the beach. He's got these fish finder glasses, and he's looking at mackerel, and all of a sudden he sees.
Is that what they are?
Fire, yeah. Because I was looking at the readout. I only caught it on the second watch. Like I said, when I watch these twice, is how I was picking up on all this. He sees the mackerel like rolling up on the waves, and he's like, "What the fuck?" And then he sees the flames behind the mackerel, and then the waves start coming in, and then the blast comes in. Of course, then the camera rolls to credits like right after that. So, this thing fucked up Earth.
Yeah, it did, and I mean, this is the second event we've seen like this, because the first one was when Mars had the first strike weapons, and Earth failed to knock them out with the railgun, and then paid the price because I think a nuke hit like somewhere in South Africa and killed 2 million people.
Yeah.
So this is the second time we've had a hit on Earth, like this, and even though it hit in the water, it looks like it still made some damage. And I think hopefully, this gives Avasarala some clout, and she's like, "Look,
that's just what I was getting ready to say." It's like the reason that this is so scary is because the band is split up. Everybody's doing their own thing right now.
Yeah, man. The band's split up, man.
Avasarala, did I say it right this time?
You're getting there, buddy. You're getting there.
Close. Okay. Chrisjen, all right, has no power. Like she has like no power, no contact. She's burned up all of her bridges. She doesn't have the power that she used to have, but she was really good at getting her way and manipulating people to get shit done. Yeah, and now she doesn't have that power anymore. So
and it's one of those things where it's like, I feel bad because she had to like fight for her job and get elected to it and everything, and I was just like kind of like, she's doing the best job. Yeah, she fucks people over all the time, but it's one of those things where she'll fuck over like a handful of people to save billions of people.
Right.
And it's one of those things where
plow
it's like
through any obstacle to get what she needs. She doesn't like to lose. Yeah.
No, 100%. And then that's what I like about her. She doesn't like to lose, but also like she will fuck people over. She won't kill them. She won't ruin their lives, but she will fuck them over in order to save billions of people. She's not like mowing them down to the machine gun.
No.
She's just screwing them over, in a sense, to make sure everybody's alive.
And it's kind of like these 3 episodes. It's like her moment where she kind of has to eat crow because like she's almost always gotten her way, and now she's not getting her way, and she's got this bitch that's taking her job that humiliates her every chance she gets. Just belittles her and berates her, and she just takes it like a trooper. It's kind of sad because it's like you would wait, and there was even that moment where that guy was chewing on Naomi. It's like when they're at Tycho Station, like, you're getting all kinds of work done on this ship that's completely draining our part supply, and you're getting all these good guy discounts and all that. And I was just waiting for her to say, "Look, I fucking saved the world. I saved the universe. Kiss my ass." She just stands there like, but she's thinking it. You know what I mean? It's like, you ungrateful son of a bitch. It's like.
I think, and well, even Amos is the same thing when he meets Eric and stuff like that. It's one of those things where, like, I think what it is that this crew has seen so much and been through so much like near death experiences and dealt with something that's like out of this world, literally. That these minuscule confrontations don't mean shit to them anymore. They're just like, You want to get in my face? Fine. This does not matter to me right now.
And people still suck. Even after all of this shit, people still suck. But I really liked all 3 of these episodes. I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to say it, man. These are 5 out of 5s. This is a really, really good show. All right. It's definitely worth your attention. It has found its stride. This is the character building side of the show. You know what I mean? Where you start getting a little bit more backstory that you didn't have before, because you're not so focused on all of the different silly side plots that are going on. It's great pacing, great science fiction, great acting. hell of a script. You know, I mean, the effort and the money that they put into this show really shows right now. You know what I mean? Like I've seen absolutely nothing falter between season 4 and season 5. So definitely fives out of me.
Yeah, man. Me too. Obviously a big fan of the show. That's why we're doing this. But no, so, you know, 5 out of 5 for me. The CGs, they've upped the game. The overall feel they've upped it. You can tell because just the way they're shooting it now, they're shooting it more filmic as they did before with just making it a TV show. Thank God Amazon has it so they can just throw money at it and make it look amazing. Even though they get a budget, I'm sure they don't fucking care because they can go over if they want to because it's Amazon.
Yeah.
So it doesn't really matter. It's just, yeah, and like, you know, you have, you know, the writers and the showrunners and the actors and everybody have, you know, they have freedoms to do what they want, and they're, you know, they're making a good show. They've been with these characters for 4 seasons now. This is the 5th one, so I mean, like they know them in and out. They know what they're doing. They know how to write the show. They know how to write the episodes at work. What doesn't, you know? I mean, there's no fat in these episodes anymore, thankfully. And then we're getting into a lot more deeper character stuff than we did before because we need to. Because it's just been about the whole system these last, I think, 3 seasons. 4th season was a little bit only about one planet, but still, you know, it was a little more intimate, but not as intimate as this season is. And I do like it because we are getting to know more of the personality of these characters than we did before. Even though, yeah, there's written things about them. Yeah, there's novellas. Yeah, there's a book series, this, that, and the other. But it's different when you're watching it. And I like that they're putting the effort in making sure that you know more about these characters. You know, after this is done, like you'll know why Amos is the way he is. You'll know why Alex did what he did. You'll know why Bobby Dripper did what she did. You know why Avasarala is in the position she's in. And you'll know why Holden is trying to find the protomolecule now more than ever because of just everything that's been happening. Like you know what's, you know, you're going to know the way that these characters think, you know, better than ever before. So I'm beyond a fan of this. These 3 episodes, once again, I'm glad they did 3 episodes like this in a chunk because they were able to give you a wonderful introduction to the new season. And you know, of course you want more. Of course you need more. But this was a nice, good introduction to the season that we needed. If they had done just 1 episode, I would have been really mad because it wouldn't have been enough to make me happy to start me off on this thing. With there being 3 episodes, it was enough to kind of like get you started and be like, oh shit, this is gonna be a good one, kind of thing. So.
Well, we had said before that we predicted that this was going to be an explosive season. I think they wanted to get the setup out of the way. And episodes 1 through 3 feel very much like setup. It's good setup. It's great.
No, 100% it's good setup because
yeah,
you're dealing with so many characters and so many storylines on so many sets that you have to do the setup this way. And I'm glad they're taking the time to do it, and they have the time to do it because we've gotten like the first 2 seasons we did the reviews for. They were thick. They were very, very thick and very dense.
I'm also impressed that a science fiction show on Amazon Prime, with an Amazon Prime budget, a very Amazon Prime budget, called The Expanse, is not afraid to get down and intimate with its characters and show you some of their backstory, and you know, especially this late in the game. You know what I mean? Like
yeah.
It's given fans what they want. I mean, I wanted this stuff. I wanted to know more about, you know.
Yeah. And I think it's rewarding us fans for sticking around this long and supporting the show as much as we have, with more backstory, more character development. Not really more character development, just more backstory and more, you know, going behind the veil of what these characters are and what they've been through and everything. That's what they're rewarding us with as fans and viewers of the show, which I'm happy with.
Before we roll up out of here, I want to ask you how you feel about this rumor that there's going to be an Expanse movie coming out.
Ooh. All I want is I want it to be a long movie. I want it to be a long movie if it's going to be a movie. I want it to be 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
Of just the Expanse. Like if it's that, then I can go, and I want to watch it in a goddamn theater. That's the thing I want.
Watch it in a theater, and I want all of the same people that worked behind the scenes on the camera, directing, and all that. I want all of them involved. Like all of the cast and crew that worked on this. I want to see all the same names in the credits. You know what I mean? Because it's a very cinematic show anyway. you know. But
it is, and I mean, and I think it's become more so since Amazon has gotten it, and they've had the money to do things and not adhere to the television rules of doing certain things a certain way, so they're able to break those rules and make the show visually better.
I want to see it get the Serenity treatment. You know what I mean? Like that was that was a pretty awesome movie for a show that was only around for one season. This has already had 4, working on 5, going to have 6. So this is, like I said, I think this universe and this story is going to stand the test of time, and I'm looking forward to it, man. So,
yeah, and I'm happy Amazon does want to not let it linger on like Netflix or they don't want to milk it to death like Netflix does with their properties. They want to
Walking Dead.
Don't get me started on that. Don't get me started on that. Jesus.
I was just thinking that. I'm like, here's a show that doesn't meander because there's too much story to tell. We don't have time for meandering. But
exactly. But I mean, quitting it at 6 seasons, what I keep hearing from a lot of people who have read all the books and know what's going on is like that's a good stopping point for what's going to happen, because apparently there's a time jump at some point or whatever. So I don't know. But I think if there's a time jump and they do the movie, that'll make sense. You can age the characters, visually with makeup or CG or whatever. It'll be fine. But yeah, once again, I want a long movie. I want to see it in the theater. I'll watch it like 18 times at goddamn theater. I swear to God. I'll watch it in widescreen, full screen.
There's all the support you need. But Nick, I want to thank you for all the work you've helped me do putting this together. I know you were really excited about me doing this, and it's been so much fun. Even though it's been a lot of work, it's been a lot of fun keeping up with this show and being excited about something.
Well, people are going to enjoy your editing style. We've been putting our reviews together because they are hilarious, and you've cut in pieces of the show, and it's wonderful. I think it's good. Also, to whore out your Amazon affiliate stuff. This art book, you guys need to get it because it's
already in the description. Yep, the link is already in the description for that book. We can't recommend it enough. It's here. I'll give you the single there so everybody can see how cool that is. And Nick just likes to torture me with it because he knows I don't have one, so that's all right. But
I'm selling it for you, man. I'm selling it for you.
I want you guys to. I want to thank everybody for watching the show tonight. I know it's kind of an I don't usually run shows on Wednesday night, so it's kind of an odd time, but we're going to be doing a show every Wednesday night, and we'll be doing one episode apiece, so it's going to be fun. Just talking about one episode and digesting that. Yeah. So the next ones will be shorter. Here's the schedule again. I'll show it real quick before we get out of here. Here's from the wiki. Yeah. So next week the 23rd. Okay, that'll be go. I'm not even gonna try to pronounce that. Fuck that. And then the 30th, the 6th, the 13th, the 20th, the 27th, and the 3rd. So every Wednesday from here until February 3rd. So
wow,
we'll be doing those Wednesday nights, and those episodes will be shorter because we won't be talking about as many episodes at a time. So
yeah. Oh, definitely. I mean, even 3 episodes takes us quite a bit to get through because once again, we're happy to have a new season of the show, be back with our characters, with the characters we love and everything. So I mean, it's always a good time.
Also, if you're new to the channel, I invite you to come back this Friday. We're going to be doing a Christmas party. We're actually doing Silent Night, Deadly Night 2, which is one of my favorite stupid Christmas horror movies. You know what? It's been such a shit show this year. It just seems appropriate that if we do a Christmas movie this year, it ought to be a horrible Christmas movie. So yeah, Silent Night, Deadly Night 2. You do not need to see Silent Night, Deadly Night 1 because the second one is basically a remake of the first one using 40 minutes of footage from the first one. So it's going to be a good time. That's Friday night on this channel, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we'll see you back on Monday night. And then Nick and I will be back here Wednesday next week. So you guys have going. Also, Season 2, like I said, it took me a long time to edit it. That will be uploaded tomorrow at noon. And I'm hoping to have Season 3 edited and uploaded by the end of this week as well. Don't hold me to that. I'm going to do my very best.
Hey man, this is we're in December of 2020 right now. We get it. We get it.
Holidays be difficult, y'all. So
yeah, we get it. We understand entirely. We get it.
All right, guys. You guys have a fantastic weekend, and it's the Groovinator for Raiders of the Lost Flicks with Nick and I from the World Class Bullshitters. Signing out. Peace.
Thanks for watching this video. I hope you found it somewhat entertaining. Please remember to depress that like button and subscribe to my channel for more content. Make sure you hit that bell icon so you'll be the first to know when new content is published. Please visit raidersofthelostflicks.com for more hilarious entertainment and links to all of our social media platforms. Also, consider supporting us on Patreon. As little as $1 a month supports our worldwide digs for more Lost Flicks. Thank you, and